So it's weekend at my end. So good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you're connecting from. So I just want to check up on us a bit. So in between the line, I just want us to have some reflections. All right. So just as the caption entails, the becoming. Yeah, the becoming. So while connecting, I will indulge us to do well to give us a thumbs up. If you're yet to subscribe, do well to subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate that. So, on the other hand, I've tried to cast my mind around a couple of things, of which today's discussion is just one of them, the becoming. Sometimes when you start up a task, start up an activity, most time it looks as though it's not forthcoming. Take for instance a journey, someone embarking on a journey. At the first phase, the first few minutes, it appears as though there is no progress at all. It appears as though there's no progress at all. The first few minutes of the journey. Just somewhere around the line, several hours later in most cases, and then you now notice some appreciable sense of progression. It looks as though there was indeed a progress towards the right direction. All right. So, for the first phase, most times, especially journeys that are by road transport, those that travel through the road, the first part of the journey looks as though you are headed nowhere. It looks as though the journey is not even, it sometimes can be tiring, sometimes can even be annoying. Yes, the first few hours, the first few moments, it looks very annoying. But as long as you're patient enough to wait, along the way, you will now appreciate the journey. Thank you, Nisa. Okay, connecting from Russia. Okay, I'm actually streaming from Nigeria. I'm streaming from Nigeria. I trust we can get me very well. Thank you for having you here. Thank you so much for having you here. So, yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yeah, I'm in my 30s. Thank you so much. All right, so as I was saying, the first part of the journey looks very tiring. That's the same thing with starting up any project at all in life. Yeah, so Nisa, thank you for having you here. Do well to double tap your screen. Do well to give this live stream a thumbs up. Thank you, everyone. I can see all of us. Thank you so much for having us here. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Do well to double tap your screen just to give the live stream a thumbs up. Thank you so much. So, as I was saying, if you start up a project, for instance, the idea of even starting up a project sometimes can be very depressive, sometimes can be very tiring. And even when you have already ventured into it, you're already in the midst of it, most times along the way you can feel like giving up, you can feel like quitting. And that's why some people say, take your time to really plan any business, anything at all you want to embark on, so that you will not give up in the middle of the whole scenario. Yeah, thank you, T2. Thank you so much. Thank you for having me here. I'm grateful for having all of us here. Do well to double tap your screen to give this live stream a thumbs up. Yeah, I'm good. How about you, T2? How about you, Nisa? How are you? I can see 9,000 of us here. Hope we're doing well. Let me know how your weekend is going. Let me know how your weekend is going over your end. Let me know how your weekend is going. So, as I was saying, most people will tell you ensure you really plan out anything at all you want to embark on. Any part, anything at all in life you want to embark on. Take your time enough to plan it because there is every possibility that you may be disappointed with the result you are seeing. There's every possibility that things may not go as planned. There will be every possibility that it looks as though there's retrogression. But what our discussion is centered on is a reflection, looking back from where you are coming, looking back from how you started, and then where you are at the moment. Is there really growth at all? Are you really progressing? Are you really going towards the right direction? And if yes, how do you sustain the journey? How do you keep pressing? Even in the midst of prevailing negative circumstance, even in the midst of where things are not going as you plan. Thank you everyone for connecting. I can see all of us. I really appreciate. Do well to double tap your screen just to give this live stream a thumbs up. Do well to double tap your screen. All right, I would want to ask everyone connected, what is that project you have started? And then it looks as though you are frustrated in the midst of it. What is that task? What is that goal you are working on? T2, I don't know if you're still there. Nisa, I don't know if you're still there, as well as other persons. Let us know in the comment box. What's that project you have started? And then in the middle of it, it looks as though you're not getting the result. You're not just getting the result you aimed at. What is that one thing you have started already? And it looks as though they're not going as you planned. Share with us in the comment box. Share with us in the comment box. And let's get to rub minds together. Share with us in the comment box. What's that one project, that one task, that one goal you have been trying to achieve? It looks as though it's not going as you plan, and let's discuss on it. So, in starting up any project, there's the first phase. The first phase. There's a challenge that you need to break out of, called the first of inertia. This is the resistance that comes with starting up anything. So this inertia comes from a physics word that shows resistance to motion, initial motion, right? So in the first phase, you have a lot of things that want to stop you from starting up any task, any goal at all. It is bound to happen that way. For every goal you set at, there are bound to be resistance. Any idea at all, any goal you have in mind, there are bound to be some level of resistance. And those resistance are classified as inertia. Now, what could be the possible forces that will serve as this inertia, these resisting forces? We have one, am I capable enough? Do I have sufficient resource to carry me? Do I have sufficient money? Do I have the backing that I need? Do I have the people that will support me? The time frame for me to achieve it, is it really enough for me? So these are one of the challenges that most people face when they are starting up a goal, starting up a project. Some persons are like, how do I even start up the project? What act should I even start up first? Which one should I start up first? And some person will be like, how do I even know I have arrived? How do I even know I'm doing the right thing? These are called the forces of inertia that stops one person from going the right direction, from taking up a project, right? So that's the first force that most people encounter. Now, all these things, the goal of this force of inertia is to stop you. It's actually to stop you. You are the one to decide within you if to continue or not. You are the one to decide either to continue or not. You are the one to decide either to continue or not. Now, when you decide to start, how do you manage How do you manage that phase? How do you manage it? First, you have to decide on that project. What does it really mean to you if you should achieve it? For any goal at all you want to start up. Thank you everyone for connecting. I can see all of us. I really appreciate. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I really appreciate. Thank you for having you all here. So, on that first phase, I'm saying before you start any project, ask yourself, what exactly does the project mean to you if you should achieve it? How will it make you feel? Will you feel excited if you achieve the goal? What is that goal? Will you feel excited? Next, if you don't achieve it, how would you feel? How would you feel if you don't achieve it? You want to start a school? Why should you be starting a school? How would you feel when you graduate? You want to start a program, you want to learn handwork. For instance, you want to learn handwork. How important is that handwork to you? How much do you value it? How much do you enjoy? So, for instance, people that their career are into music, how do becoming a musician make you feel? That's the first phase. You have to define it. You have to be sincere with yourself to ask yourself, how would you feel if you should become one of the most successful musicians? And then you should also ask yourself, what if you don't become that successful musician? What if you don't become? How would you feel? So you must define it. It will help to reduce some level of frustration in the journey of becoming whatsoever you want to become. The next goal is to find out what does it entail to becoming a musician, say for instance, or what does it take to becoming a doctor, say for instance. What does it take to become the best architect? So you have to find out the strategies. That's the next step. Find out the strategies. What are the things that are required, the necessary things required towards achieving that goal? If you have stated this, it will help you to define the next step. What are the strategies? If you can answer that question, what are the strategies to becoming or to carrying out that task? Any task you want to start, I say the first step is to define what the meaning of the task, achieving the task is to you, and then defining what the failure in carrying out that task mean to you. The second step is the strategy. And then when you now have stated the strategy, it will help you answer the question, which should I start first? If you have outlined, let's say you want to become a lawyer tomorrow. So you have outlined what are the strategies for becoming a lawyer, what are the strategies to become a barrister. You know you have to start up school. And when you have started up school, there are things you need to do in between in school. And even when you have graduated, there are things you need to do. So when you have stated this, it will tell you which one to do next.
Alpha, Osi, I don't leave you for you.
I'm on live stream. Oh, I'll soon close the report. So you have to state which one comes first, which one should you do first. Okay, it's all right. It's all right. So you have to state which one should you do first. From the strategies that you have stated, you will know which one to carry out first. You will definitely know which one. What's up? You want to do what? Meet that orderly. Tell him I say you should check for social worker if you will see at emergency. If you will see yes at emergency. So, sorry please, I'm with us. So as I was saying, you have to decide what strategies to be implemented. And when you have decided that, you will know which should be implemented first. And another thing that needs to be considered is when. There must be timing to everything. And that's why I like this acronym for goal achievement called SMART. Specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time bound. Specific will tell us about what exactly do you want to achieve. What exactly is that thing you want to achieve? Measurable. Is it really attainable? Is it really achievable? Is it really achievable? For every action, is it really achievable? What are the steps to take? Attainability. What are the things to put in place towards the attainment? Are they effective enough? Realistic. You have to ask yourself and be real. This is where the time really comes before the last one, which is time bound. Realistic, within the time frame of what you expected, are those strategies effective enough to help you achieve that goal? Then you now talk about the time bound, because you must give yourself a time frame for every goal. Without a time bound, without giving a time frame, your mind will not be taxed enough. You will not be tied enough to that goal. You will not stay long enough to see to the end of the goal. That's why some people, they have started one project, they will stop it. They start another project, they stop it. They pick one course today, they have dropped the course. They pick one career today, they have dropped it halfway, because they did not give themselves the time frame for every action they need to carry out. They did not measure it enough. They do not really check on the specific tasks to carry out per time. So you have to define, what step should I take? What steps should I take per time? When should each step come in? There's a step for consultation. There's the state for implementation. There's state for even consolidation. As I always say, you have first of all have to make inquiry, which is the consultation phase. From all persons you have inquired, you now consolidate all the ideas together, the possible solutions you have gotten, the possible strategies, you consolidate them together, and then you implement the phase of implementation. Now it doesn't end in implementation. There is a phase of review. There's a phase of review where you need to review your goal, maybe periodically. From time to time, you review your goal. Are you right? Are you actually in track? Are you in line? Or are you out of course? Some people may be out of course for what their goal is. The actions they are taking is not in relation to the goal. And they'll be wondering why they are not achieving the goal they set out for. That's why someone would say that doing the same thing over and over, expecting a different result, is as compared to being foolish or unwise. Doing the same thing over and over, expecting the same result, is comparable to someone who is unwise. Because you can't do the same thing over and over, and you have seen that you are failing with that step you are taking, and you still continue it expecting a different result. So there's a phase of evaluation. You have to critically evaluate, these steps I'm taking, are they actually in line? Are they in line with what I planned for myself? If they're not in line, what am I not doing well? What am I not doing right? Sorry, a moment. Okay. So you have to, sorry for that, you have to evaluate the goal from time to time. Check, what am I doing right? What am I not doing right? It is in this phase of evaluation that most energy, you find out that there's a particular part of that task that you expend a whole lot of energy. You expend a whole lot of energy on it, for which you would have channeled to other things. You would have channeled that energy to other things. So, but if you don't do evaluation, you will not know. It is in evaluation that you really know that it seems I am channeling my energy on one direction while others are suffering. You get? So, evaluation is one thing. And then it will also help you to identify the ones you are getting right, because you cannot get everything wrong. There are steps, there are approaches that you are getting right. You only need to be forceful. You only need to maximize them, optimize how you are doing them. So that's another thing that the phase of evaluation will help. It will help you identify what you're actually doing well, what you're doing well, so that you can know how to rebrand it to do it perfectly. Another thing is resource wasters. It will help you identify resource wasters. Resource wasters can be animate or inanimate, in the sense that it can be human beings. It can also be other immaterial things that are wasting your resources. So evaluation or review help you to really check what are those things that are wasting your resources. Because for every goal, every project you set at, there must be some level of resources that are set aside towards the achievement, towards the attainment of that goal. So at this point, I would like to ask us, for those of us that are set out for one project or the other, what do you think? Have you had time for review? And if you have had time for review, what do you think is eating up your time? What is the thing that you think is wasting up your resources? Let us know in the comment box. Let us know in the comment box, okay? What are those possible things that you feel they are wasting up the resources? 130. Wow. What are those possible things? You have to identify them. So, yeah, I'll wait for our feedback. I really appreciate our feedback. What are those things for projects, for any project at all you are actually having at the moment, any project at all, and then you feel something is delaying you, something is keeping you back, something is wasting the resources. The resource could be financial, the resource could be time, the resource could be connection. So what are those things that are wasting up your resources? Let us know in the comment box. So after identifying this, which is going to be in the phase of review, you will now know which to cut off. You know what to cut off. There are projects, in fact, there are charitable works you may be doing that are not yielding any positive effects to you. They are not helping towards your growth. They are not helping towards your growth. So you have to cut off from those type. Anything at all you are expending your resources on, and then it's not yielding you any better result, it's not giving you what you want, you have to cut them away. That's why I say some might be material, some might be immaterial. So if it is human being, you have to pull those set of persons away for a while. If there are things, if there are occasions, if there are events that you may not necessarily need to attend, there are some tasks you may need to delegate people. There may be taxes you may need to delegate. There are events that, it's not all events you need to actually attend. There are events you need to allocate someone to help you, represent you, so that you can focus on other part of the task. You can focus on other part of the project. But where you want to attend all the projects, you will not have time enough, of which time is a major resource towards achievement of any goal, any project at all. It's a major resource that one needs to consider. So let us know, what are your time wasters? What are those things that are wasting your resources in the comment box? Let us know. Let us know what are those things. It may be a lifestyle. It may be person. What are those things that are wasting your resource? So deep into our discussion, as we say, the title being that growth starts from within, the becoming process. For you to become anything, for you to achieve anything, you are meant to understand that that goal, you will not just achieve it in one day. You will not achieve that goal in one day. Just like a child who is growing up, if you want to watch that child, say, spend, the growth takes place in days, days accumulating to weeks, weeks accumulating to months, months accumulating to years. But in each of the day, you will not be seeing the child growing. But as you give it time, you will now notice that the child is actually growing. It's actually growing. So that is how it looks like. That is how it looks like. You may be making progress, but physically, it's not looking as though you are making progress. Because the becoming process is something that you need patience. You really need patience. You need some level of resilience towards attainment of any goal, any project at all. You need some level of resilience. You need some level of resilience for you to be able to achieve any goal. Just like a child in the womb. A child in the womb. The first 2 weeks, the mother may not even know that she is pregnant. She will not know that she's pregnant. But with time, you now start seeing the evidence, the physical features of pregnancy. That's how goal attainment, goal achievement looks like. It may look as though you are not making any progress earlier on. It may look as though you are not heading anywhere. But as you give it time, you start noticing that indeed you are making progress. You are actually walking in the right direction. And that's why I will always advise that for every goal you want to embark on, you need this mindset that really sees the end of the goal before the beginning. See the end. So that when it is not giving you what you expect, you should have time for review to cut off from unnecessaries. So you have to see the end if you want to build a house. That's why I like the using architectural term most time. If you are to build a house, the architect should have given you a design of how the house should look like, so that when something else that is different from that house is built, you would know that this is not what I intended for. So you have to see the end of what you are looking for. If you are looking for, say you want to set in for a business, you have defined the type of business, you have defined what to do to attain the business, the steps, the strategy, you have started everything. Having that mindset of what your business should be like at a certain year, let's say, okay, this business, I give this business 10 years time. In 10 years time, this is what I should be earning. These are the returns. The returns I should be getting daily. These are the returns I should be getting monthly. So in 10 years time, when you have not seen that amount of returns, it will help you to know that things are not going as planned. Or you say after 2 years in this business, I believe I should be able to have international patronage. So in 2 years time, upon reviewing the business, if you see that you are not having, that's why whatsoever you want to use as indices to measure the growth must be something tangible. It must be something tangible. So that's why some people, they fail to do evaluation accurately, because what they use as to indicate their growth may be something that is not tangible. So you need something tangible to really evaluate your growth. Just as I say, in terms of business, you are starting up a business. What are the tangible things you could use in evaluating your business? Okay, at the end of 2 years, I should be having, for instance, $2 every day, $100 every day. I should be able to have people that are working for me. I should be able to have my own physical location. When you have stated all this categorically, in 2 years' time, when you are looking back, what you'll be looking for to use as indices to measure the growth would be, have I gotten my own location? Have I gotten people working for me? In each day, do I have the returns that is up to $100, that's up to $200? Those things help you in evaluating your growth. But when you have not given it something that is tangible enough to measure your growth, you're not able to make adequate review, and then you cannot even tell if you are growing or not. So people most time may be growing, but they don't know. They don't know because they have not given statistics to measure what what their growth should look like. So you have to see the end of what that goal should be like, that project should be like, see the end of it. That will guide you in making your evaluation. Now, what are the possible things that are deterrents? Things that can frustrate someone towards goal achievement. When you actually have people that are not supporting your goal, they are not buying to your idea, it can deter your effort. When you are working, you are not seeing adequate growth. You are not seeing adequate growth as you intended. You can be frustrated. But what I want to tell us is that if you have done all these things we mentioned earlier, if you have done all these things we stated earlier, if you have done them, then all you need to do is to exercise patience. Because a tree will not grow in 1 week. A tree will not grow in 1 week. A tree takes years to become a tree. A house cannot be built in 1 day. It takes time. So you have to persevere a bit longer. And while persevering, there are skills that while waiting, there are tasks that while doing them, you may need training and you may need retraining for doing them. You need to sharpen up your edges, your rough edges, to ensure that you are meeting up with current trends. Just like in health, for instance. In health, for instance, the healthcare system have moved from manual documentation. They have moved from manual documentation to electronic documentation, from manual reporting to electronic reporting. They now have machines that can diagnose the client. Likewise, in business, most businesses have moved from physical presence to online presence. So when you fail to adjust with the curve as the change comes, as the trend comes, you fail to adjust with the trend, you'll not be able to catch up. You'll not be able to catch up. So you have to have that spirit of adaptability to adjust with every trend that comes, that presents. That's when you appreciate your growth. That's when you see the growth you expect. So the becoming process is not an easy task. And growth itself starts from within. So any growth you see, anything at all you have seen today that is doing well, did not start that day. It did not start that day. There is a story behind every success. There is a pain behind every victory. There was a suffering behind every glory. There was a fall behind every rising. So there is, for every success you see today, there's a story, a painful one that you may not know about. So appreciate your growth. Don't allow someone's success of today to stop your shine. That's why I would say, celebrate yourself. Celebrate every little successes you make. Celebrate every little growth you make. Because in life is a stage. And people are observing, people are watching you. The world is your audience. And when it's time, you will move off the stage. So appreciate every little effort you are making in the right direction. Celebrate yourself. Don't allow other people's success to kill your own vibe to grow. So I want to believe we have really learned something today. Let me know in the comment box. I would like to continue. From here. But if you have learned something new, let us know in the comment box. Thank you everyone for connecting. I can see us. Please do well to double tap your screen to give this live stream a thumbs up. I've seen every one of us. I really appreciate it. I would like to continue this live stream later in the day. So, but for now, this is just like an appetizer towards the major discussion. So, Looking forward to see us subsequently. Looking forward to see us subsequently. I will appreciate seeing all this beautiful family again later in the day. Thank you so much. See us later. Cheers. Cheers.